February 2020. That was a regular day when we supposed to celebrate our anniversary and also Valentine's Day. When Irving come to home after work, and when he decided to go to shower, my son Jacob called me. He said, "Oh, Mom, come because Daddy said that he didn't feel well." When I get to the room, my surprise was that Irving was on the bed, and he told me, "Please call 911 because I'm not feeling well."
Irving suffered a stroke on Valentine's Day 2020. Affected primarily the right side of his brain, although with the excessive bleeding and pressure in the head, they had to put a shunt in, so there was damage really throughout the entire brain. Mostly the left side of his body has been impacted, but again, with the widespread brain damage, there's been pretty significant dysfunction throughout his entire body.
He was in the hospital for 3 weeks without opening his eyes. And after that, he goes to rehabilitation. He was there from March 19th. And then he go back home on June 12, 2020. He now was able to talk. He now was able to swallow. And he now was able to walk. So we take him to outpatient therapy. But then on September 2020, he got seizures.
He had recurrent seizures, so he had a number of seizures after the stroke. What would happen was he would learn how to walk, and then he would have another seizure, and then he couldn't walk again. So it was this constant cycle of being able to rehabilitate, regain function, and then lose function due to these recurrent seizures that were essentially causing more brain damage on top of the existing brain damage from the stroke on that right side. Irving initially found us through a video that they saw online, which led them to call us, and then we talked about the treatments that we do on a regular basis for people with severe traumatic brain injury. So the biggest challenges for Irving at this point are communication. Again, it's very difficult to communicate what he's thinking, even though he can understand perfectly well. So the communication coupled with the lack of movement are really his two greatest challenges at this point.
A typical day for Irving would be a rotation through multiple stations or different therapies of treatment. Typically, he's doing cold laser every day on different parts of the brain, transcranially. He's also going to be doing a lot of therapies around eye movements and walking, often trying to combine the two of those to be able to communicate more effectively. We're also doing different forms of neuromodulation, where we're using electricity and other forms of stimulus to basically alter and directly change different ways that the brain is functioning, try to enhance the activity in different pathways, especially when we're associating them with certain functions. We did a good amount of neurofeedback therapy with Irving, working on trying to enhance the activity in the right motor cortex, given he had these profound left-sided deficits. And we were also doing a good amount of whole body vibration. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy was also a big part of his care too, trying to drive as much healing and decrease neuroinflammation, improve blood flow up to the brain. All of those things really make the other aspects of our care more effective. It's extremely complementary of each other. So we try to create synergistic effects with these therapies wherever we can, and that's a great example of that.
So we're at a point right now where Irving can bear a certain amount of weight on 2 feet, but he's really unable to walk on his own. But in the 2 weeks that he's been here, he's been able to put more weight on his feet. He's been able to get up and down in squat position, which is the foundation for walking. If we can do those things, we very likely can get to putting one foot in front of the other, which he's actually doing now, and be able to hopefully walk on our own without the assistance of others. Now that will be some time, but we feel comfortable and confident that it is a strong possibility and a high probability of that happening at some point in time.
When he wanna moving, he moving more confident. When I find out this play, I was sure that I start to get the right place. I felt like this play really working from the heart.
So as far as outlook for Irving goes, we're very positive. We don't have the crystal ball, so to speak, to tell us exactly where he's going to be 6 months from now or a year from now, but we're building the foundation that allows him, his brain, his body, the connections between all of these things to work more effectively so he can interact through movement, he can interact through speech, he can interact socially more effectively. We see really great things ahead for Irving, and we really look forward to being a part of this process because we're a team, we all work together, and it doesn't end once they leave these doors here.
Irving is one of the most determined individuals that I've ever met, seeing the way that he attacks his therapy and his treatment. He never asks to be done early. He always does a couple extra repetitions from whatever I tell him. For him to push through like that is absolutely amazing and inspirational to see. Not to mention the strength of his wife Ruth, who is always by his side, helping him with whatever he needs, helping to encourage him in some of his moments where he might need that too, and just the connection between them. It's inspiring, honestly. It's an amazing thing to see, and it's beneficial, amazingly, for his healing process to have that much support from his wife. Like we said before, we're all a big team, and the more that family can play a big role in that recovery process, the better results that we tend to see.
I feel like all the potential that he has to fighting with the life is for the love that he has for me and for the kid and for the family. All the time when I saw him fighting for life, for do everything that he would do before, that's the reason I'm here fighting with him. And I know that together we're gonna make it. Un besito.